Good morning, kids. So, we did chapter number 2. In chapter number 2, we started with the habitats. Habitats are the places where the animals live. Okay. So, now let's go on to the next topic, that is adaptation. Adaptation, as I told you, those are the adjustments done in the body to survive in the given habitat. Okay. Now, when I say about adaptation, the features and the habits of organisms that help them to survive in their habitats are called adaptation. So, their features, bodily features, their habits are what make it very easy for them to live in certain habitats. They cannot prosper or live in a different habitat. Okay, for example, when I say a polar bear or a penguin, they cannot live in our habitat. They cannot live in warm places, isn't it? They have been habituated, adapted for the colder regions, so they will only survive in those regions. Okay, now for adaptations, now first we are going to see about body coverings. Body coverings means how is their body covered, or what they have on their body for protection. Okay, let's start. First one is scales. Scales, you must have seen fishes, you must have seen snakes. Okay, their body is covered with what you can say, scales. Okay, those are markings which are very hexagonal or very jam packed like this. Okay, so on their body you will see such type of scales. Okay, these are called scales. They are geometrical designs, okay, patterns, which are very what you can say, not always geometrical. They can be like on fish. You whenever you draw a fish, isn't it, you do like this, isn't it? So these are what you are indicating, scales. So these are the body coverings. They don't have hair, instead they have these scales. Now why do they have scales? What is the advantage of it? It is so that the scales can be then, for example, the snake, it will shed off its outer layering. Now you must have seen snakes slide or glide, and they don't have legs. So what happens with constant sliding, gliding, their scales wear off, so they can change it from time to time. Okay, so the process of shedding of old skin to replace with a new one or new skin is called molting. This process is called as molting. It happens in snakes, wherein they just remove their skin. Okay, these scales, they remove it. The whole thing is removed, and again a new one is exposed. The new skin or new scales are exposed. The body of fish is also covered with scales. Now the fishes live in water. If suppose they had hair on their body, what would that do? It will increase their weight, है ना, वजन बढ़ जाएगा. Then they may have to put more force in swimming. So they need a very slender body, very lightweight body. So their body is constantly in water. So they have scales which are what you can say water resistant. Okay, so bodies of animals which are constantly in water, they mostly have scales on them. Okay, beta. Then we come to shell. Again, when I talk about tortoise, turtles, you must have seen a hard covering on their back, on their body. Now again, it will be very, very important. Why? Because see, tortoises, turtles are the ones which live in water mostly, and tortoises mostly they live on land Obviously they can survive in water as well, but not too much. Okay, they cannot live for a long time in water. So the turtles are the ones which live in water, mostly in the seas. Okay, so these turtles and the tortoise both have the hard covering because they are very slow. Since they are slow, they can be easily eaten up by the animals. So they are having this hard shell in under which they can get the protection. They go inside their other body parts, their head, their legs, they can take it inside and protect themselves from other animals which try to eat them up. Okay, then we go to fur or the wool. Okay, fur, wool are mostly in the animals which are living on the land. Why is that given? So that they don't have, in the mountainous region or the animals which are living in the colder regions. Okay, those animals will have a lot of fur, lot of thick hair. Okay, that is, and then sheep, they are having wool. Why? Because they also are mountainous animals. They survive better there because they are having this thick layer of wool. Okay, तो उनको ठंड नहीं लगती, they will not get cold. So the animals living in the colder regions, they have thick fur and thick hair on them. Then we move on to feathers. Now feathers are mostly in the birds. So these feathers are of three types. They are body feathers, flight feathers and down feathers. Now what are these three type of feathers useful for? The flight feathers are useful for wings. In the wings they have flight feathers which will help them to fly. Then they have body feathers which cover their body. Now see, first thing, for birds, their body has to be very light in weight. Then only they will be able to fly. So they have feathers all over their body which are very light in weight. Okay. So flight feathers are the feathers on the wings which help them fly. Body feathers are the feathers on their body. Because they are flying, wind will be strong, so they might feel cold. So that is why body is covered with feathers. So it gives some warmth to them. Okay. Then they have down feathers. These down feathers are also responsible for keeping the body warm. Okay. Down feathers keep the body warm. So the body of the birds is covered with feathers. Feathers are of three types as we saw. Getting me? Then next we come to hard body coverings. Now some insects, okay, they have hard body coverings which are useful for protection again. Okay, so the insects such as grasshopper and cockroach have a hard body covering made of a substance called chitin. So this chitin is the substance from which the body coverings of insects are made. As you know, insects are very small and very delicate, है ना? Easily, even when we have an insect at home, क्या करते हैं? झाड़ू चप्पल लेके we smash it off, isn't it? So since they are very delicate and very tiny, God has given them this a chitin covering, okay, a substance called chitin, which makes the body hard. Okay, it is having a hard covering. Okay, so this was about the body cover.